Hey guys, this is the PP Dad, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about trading in general and like how to get a feel for the markets. I know it's been quite some time since I put up a trading video, and that's because there's just been so much work on my hands that I needed to get out of the way. But today, because I have a spare moment, and today being like one of the last days of a Jewish holiday, and I actually work with a lot of Jewish trading partners as well. So today it's a very good time for me to come back and make these trading videos. So okay, like this happens to be the EURUSD, but what I wish to actually share with you guys is that one of the things that taught me the most about price action, and like because many people ask me how is it I can do the price action trading like I did in the previous video that I put up. And well, actually, it's through a lot of observation. So I know it's kind of funny, but if you even try to invest in cryptocurrency, and the most common of which being Bitcoin, this is a Bitcoin chart. And what I'm going to be pointing out to you over here is that, well, the Bitcoin chart, even within a day, it goes up and down a lot. I mean, it's highly fluctuative. It could go up, anywhere up or down between 2% and 5%, even like 10% in a single day. And sometimes one of the things that one of the situations that I've found myself in many times in the past, and even very recently as well, like at the beginning of this week, because I mentioned, I think I mentioned previously that I received some of my payments in cryptocurrency, like USDT and BTC. Especially when I receive payments in BTC, sometimes I forget to cash them, and most of the time, I convert them to cash straight away. But there are times when I think there's a potential for a further rise, and I just hold it, and lo and behold, it just like tanks, and I was like, oh gosh. But what that has actually taught me is to look at price action. So it doesn't matter which chart you're on, but basically, one of the most important and very key indicators that I personally enjoy to use is one called CM Super Guppy. And you can find this on Tradingview. And let's say if I were to have this removed, let me just remove that for you over here. And I'm going to go over to here and basically just go indicator and strategy and just type CM Super Guppy. Okay, here we go. So just click on that. And there we have it. Okay, so this is a really, really powerful indicator. And I use this hand in hand with watching the BTC. And this has taught me a lot about price action. Okay, and this right here is the Bollinger Bands. And this over here is the Divergence indicator, all of which are actually free. You don't even need to get a paid TradingView account. You can simply use a free one. There's a limit of indicators you can use, but it's more than enough. And this one here is like, I believe it is a 200-day average, I think. What is that? EMA 200. Yes, it is a EMA 200. Okay, so all these are basically the indicators that I actually need. And just using these hand in hand, okay, in a different video, I'm going to be covering about the Bollinger Band, and I'll be showing you like how to trade binary options or Forex with Bollinger Band, how to do swing trading in Bollinger Band. Obviously, if you're going to do like binary, it's going to be a very short time frame. And if you plan to do that on Forex, you want to be looking at a much shorter time frame as well. It really depends on the amount of patience you have and the amount of time that you wish to devote to trading. But what I really mean to say is that if you look at, if when you buy into a cryptocurrency and and it goes down against your wishes, it's kind of funny. I'll show you something here on TradingView. So TradingView, if you go into you just go into the main one. So go to maintradingview.com. And what's going to happen is that when you click, when you just type something in, click on ideas, all right? I have posted a bunch of ideas in the past myself, and it's funny. Um, what I always notice to happen is that people would always create theories to support their own thinking. So I have had like ideas which have had over 10 likes, even 20 likes before, and you will also tend to notice that people who are, like let's say if a lot of people out there in the market want to be bullish about Bitcoin, but the funny thing is when it's going down, people would want to come out here and get some ideas on how to invest in Bitcoin or what to do with their positions. Basically, they're looking for reasons to support why they should hold it. Because sometimes you may be looking into the various analytics on a currency pair or even Bitcoin in this case, and everything just points to, oh, it's a sell, it's a strong sell. But then, you're thinking that, crap, if I sold now, I'll be losing 5%, I'll be losing 15%. And you start to look at all these analysis, and what is interesting is that when people say, no, we should go bullish, we should buy, oh, it's going to break out, it's going to 55,000 soon, it's going to go to 70,000 soon, and all those that are bullish like this, they're going to get a lot of likes because people always want to find out ideas that they can support their position. So coming back into the chart, okay, like how does this help you? Well, I have to tell you that it's better for you to learn for yourself than for me to tell you. I mean, I can point you in a direction, but let's say, okay, today maybe put a reasonable amount of money, buy BTC or buy like Solana. Another one is good to go into is probably like Solana at this point in time. So I'm gonna do that. Okay. Why? Because I mean it's come off some recent highs. It's been doing really well lately, and it has it's been said to it's been said to have the potential pricing of where Binance is today. A lot of new projects are going to Solana. I think this has potential, and it's reached a high of about 220 in the recent weeks. But due to the recent market correction, it has come off that high, and I think this is a good thing to put some money into. You can purchase it on Binance. I have a link in the description where you can open a Binance account, and I will basically benefit, and you will benefit as well because you will have like some rebates on trading fees, I believe. And what's going to happen is that when you buy this, then there will be times where it's going up, there will be times where it's going down, and you will then begin to learn about how the price patterns behave. And remember, I talked about this, the CM Super Guppy. And this helps you in such a way that you will notice that at the end of a red series of channel, okay, it will turn to gray. And I personally tend to take the turning to gray as an entry signal to buy. And I will hold it until the green area has turned back to gray. So that alone gives me, a nice potential profit. I mean, it's not a lot, okay, but it's reasonable, okay? Let's say hypothetically on a 15-minute chart, going in here at 132, getting out here at 137, that's not bad. Okay, and then there are also times when we have multiple green chunks and multiple red chunks. So I would like to draw your attention to that and how we deal with that over here. So for instance, this goes from green to gray, and I would actually get in here, for instance, hypothetically, and I would get out here. Of course, if you want to have a better exit point, you may of course want to get out on the Bollinger Band. But then again, if you got out here, they'll be way too early. Okay, so it's hard to say, but let's just take it on the most conservative terms. let's go from gray to gray. All right, start gray to start gray. So let's say from here, we're looking at a pricing of, say, about 147, and this is 140. That's 7 points. That's not bad at all. Okay, of course it's not the low, but hey, you kind of everything, right? Now, so you got out here, and then what do you know? In the case when it goes red again, what we simply do is that we can go in here, okay, at the beginning of the red, and then we get out when it turns gray. So from here, 139 to 135. Of course, you can say, oh, hang on, no, it's gonna be here. The gray, okay, 133. 6 points, that's not bad. Okay, you get my drift? And along the way, you will notice how, the market behavior is affected by how it interacts with regard to the 200-day average. The 200-day average is something that all the institutional traders use for any asset class. It is very powerful. And how that interacts, well, you will notice a couple of things here, okay? When it's close to the line, it will tend to oscillate more. And when it goes further away from that line, there will always be a snapback reaction. What goes down has to come up, and what goes up has to come down. This is a given. And also you will notice that what is beneath the line will generally continue to trend the same way. So anything below the line is downtrend, anything above the line is uptrend, and anything just on and below and whatever, up, below and above, whatever, is, no, actually I just said the same thing. Up, down, and on the line is a sideway. And notice how this line, when it points down, it's more downtrend. When you point sideways, it's a sideways trend. And when this points up, it's an uptrend. Okay, so these are a couple of things that you want to pay attention to. And trust me, when you have money at stake, just do it without leverage. No leverage. Okay, no 10 times, no 20 times, 30 times, but just go in with, go open a Binance account with the link down in the video description, and then just buy some Solana or buy some BTC or buy some Ethereum, whatever. Okay, and just watch your position on a daily basis. Set up your chart in similar ways. I have the CM Super Guppy, I have the Divergence indicator, just default settings. And that's really good enough. Okay, you can put a Bollinger Band 20 close to. All right, good enough. And observe what happens. Now, I was talking a little bit about this, and I will be speaking more in detail in my subsequent video where I'll be explaining how to trade the Bollinger Band. But I want you to notice about the behavior over here. Because when it detracts further from the line, there's always going to be a snapback response. And what's going to happen is that in order for a snapback response to happen, what's really happening in the market is a shift in opinion, okay? So at this point in time, this is actually the volume. And what volume tells you is that, the volume here is low, whereas over here the volume is high, and the volume is highest over here. And why do you think that is? Because when it's dropped down enough, there will be people waiting to pump the price, or not really pump the price, because they are looking to buy. Okay, so when most of the people have sold, or most people are selling, it is the best time to buy. Because where there's a lot of selling pressure, a lot of people want to get out of the market, then there is a lot of supply and less demand. So in the beginning, people who get in, okay, they can get in at very good pricing because there's a lot of supply. But as the demand picks up, the pricing goes up along with it as well. Okay, so this is something that you want to understand. And if you ever go in on a position for crypto or Forex or whatever, and you see like it's dropping and dropping. Incidentally, today the EURUSD have been sliding for quite a lot. Okay, and let's just look at some market behavior. See, when it's detracted away from long enough from the line, it will be pumped back up because people are looking for bargain hunting. Okay, and then it drops further and it gets pumped back up again. And then it drops further, it gets pumped back up, and then it gets dumped again, and it gets pumped back up. So you see this, I mean, it's like a spring. The harder you pull apart, the more of a snapback you get, okay? And I think like this right here, we're just getting ready for a very, very big snapback reaction. I mean, just observe this. I mean, I'll be doing minimal editing on this video just to keep it, you know, as candid and something that you can get the most out of. Okay, so what I'm just possibly going to do is I'm going to speed up this video a little bit just to make it a little bit more interesting for the times that I'm just making like ums and ahs, just trying to make up my mind what to say. But okay, so I can tell right now what's going to happen. I mean, one of the biggest things that you want to learn about trading is the head and shoulders pattern. Okay, look at this. See, this is obviously you have like a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. But so was there one here. Only thing is that the right side broke all the way through. Okay, so this was one. But you know why it broke through? Because the market was still too tentative. They're thinking, oh, it can't be done yet. I think it's going to go down further. And you know what really happens? The market is psychologically driven. And if the market is psychologically driven, people are probably thinking that, you know, well, it's kind of cool that it came up, but I don't think it's done yet. You know, let's get out of the position. And think about it. If everyone's thinking the same thing, I'm not sure about you, but there's actually a drinking game that people play. It's kind of like, you know, everyone would put their right hand up on one another, and you know, you would take turns to withdraw your hand, and you have to do this in sequence. If two people withdraw their hands at the same time, it's a foul. And if you let's say no one fouls, it's really like, you know, the person who's the last one to exit is the loser. And in a market situation, that is true. Because if you're the last one to exit, you will and you're trading on leverage, you're going to stand to lose money. So, but on the other hand, if we understand how that works, naturally we can use that to help ourselves to time the market, such as, okay, perhaps we're thinking that, okay, if see this dotted line in the middle? Okay, so let's assume that the market is otherwise flat. It's kind of the same as the role that this middle 200 moving average line plays. And over here, when it goes down, then basically, you know, at this point, well, would I say that this is a good time to enter? I would say, well, if I didn't know about this, maybe I'll put some position over here. And because that's also a neckline. And would I subsequently put a position here as well? Yes, I would. And notice that it's also a little head and shoulder pattern over here as well. So I'll be putting some over here, maybe adding some over here. You get what I'm saying? It's not, there's no hard and fast rule. But this is basically just acting on the supply and demand, and either way it goes. Okay, so when you trade with no leverage, I mean, it's not too stressful, but you trade with leverage, yes, these entering at the wrong time can really compound against you, and it can be pretty nasty. Like all of these sharp points are essentially made of head and shoulder pattern. Okay, much smaller head and shoulder pattern. Like this one over here, see, shoulder, head, shoulder. Over here we have a shoulder, head, and this one actually, you can see it's like a double bottom. And then over here we have a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. and over here we have a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder as well. So it's kind of duplicating, and I think the best advice that I can give you is like invest in something like right now. If you're looking at this video at this time, I think this is a good investment. EURUSD is a good investment. Okay, Solana is a good investment. BTC is a good investment. I think Ethereum is a good investment. Just do any of these without leverage at this point in time, and you can watch it on a daily basis and see how it performs. So you can watch it on an hourly basis and see how that performs. Okay, because when you have some commitment to the market, it will make you want to find out what's happening. Okay, and of course, you can also experiment to time it for better times. For example, like if you want to try the principle that I mentioned and you have time to use the 15-minute time frame, then actually you would be selling at this point in time and just waiting for it to go red and then gray again, and then just exit that. Okay, and on the other hand, if you're looking at it on a 1 hour time frame, well, this is actually still in the red, so maybe you want to wait for it to go gray, then you buy. So just wait for that and look at how the oscillations work. Notice how when it fails to make lower lows, basically like correction is in process. And if this fails to make a lower low than this, well, we're most probably going to see a nice snap back to the line over here. Again, like I notice how when there is strong selling pressure, they'll always be met with a certain amount of buying pressure as well. And ultimately, for a deep change in market, we'll be seeing like a strong buying volume candle as well. Okay, and the last final tip for this video is that when you choose to enter a market on a certain time frame, I also recommend that you exit the market on the same time frame as well. Do not confuse yourself. For example, like enter on a 1 hour and then you use a 15-minute to exit. It's going to confuse you. Of course, it can help you to find the best entries, but it's also going to confuse you at the same time. So that's what you want to try and avoid. And if you use the same time frames, like I said, it's best to go into a trade defining some rules. When is the time to get out? For example, if I say that start of gray to the next gray, that is a good time to get out, and then respect that. Okay. If let's say like from here, and then you want to go for a buy position, and then you get out here, or let's say if you assume that over here is end of the red, we go for a buy, and then we find that it goes red again, we just get out. Okay, and that way no money is lost. And over here, let's say end of the gray, we go for a buy, and then over here we end of the green, we kill the position, and there is actually no money lost. Okay, so but if you thought that, hey, this buy was like way too little, it should be going green again, so I'm just gonna hold. Once you break those rules, that's when you will really get punished. So it's very, very important to go in knowing what to do. And it was kind of funny, like today I was just looking through some Forex groups on Telegram, and I love using these groups as my intelligence source to find information, because when I look through the groups and I see people talking about, oh, this EA is blowing up, that EA is blowing up, oh, this EA is doing well. So I go in and analyze and actually download those EAs sometimes and find out, how is the trading style? I do a strategy test and see how it performed. And I have some idea on why it failed or why it succeeded. So that helps me to shape the trading ideas as well. So sometimes, if there are all these groups out there, and there are many Forex groups, there are many crypto trading groups out there on Telegram that you can join. You can search for it easily and join them. And just use that as your radar to find out what's working and what's not working, and what to trade and what not to trade, and what kind of mistakes people are making, and what kind of success that people are making, so that you can really shortcut your learning curve and make money in the money market. So these are my final tips. I hope that you enjoy this video and watch it more than once. if you feel that you need to catch something more from it. And if this seemed a little bit overwhelming for you, no worries. The more times you watch it, or let's say, just today, I think what you can try to do is that write down a bunch of things that you learned from this video and then apply it. And in a few days later, after you apply a couple of these tips, you can come back to this video again and see if you did it the right way, or there are other ideas that you didn't notice at the time that you may want to try out as well. So like these are the best recommendations I have for you in this short amount of time. And I'm going to go on to making the next video. Like I said, like this happens to be off day for me, when I'm usually doing a lot of Zooms for my other PP business at this time. So I had some time to make this video, and I hope you got some great value out of this. Leave your comments down beneath this video about how you felt about it, and if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. If you have any requests for subsequent videos that I can make, go ahead. And it may not necessarily be related to trading, but any other content that I make on my channel that you want to just communicate with me, you are most welcome to go ahead in the comments box down below. This is the PP that, and stay tuned to my blog if you're also into the PP business. But in general, I do a couple of side hustles, as you have seen on my channel already. So hit the subscribe button so you can see my new content when it comes out. Have a great day ahead.